Okay, so I totally need a reboot of my calories. So, or an inventory, if you will, of my calories. Not that I have picked this 30-day reboot as a weight loss, more as I did as a detox and a way of just like cleansing, but the weight loss is always the bonus. So I was just kind of going over my calories. I'm like, I think I need to take an inventory of my calorie intake and match it with my, or compare it to my output. So we're gonna have a little lesson today on our calories and how our output versus input. So calories in should be less than our calories that we're outputting, or what I like to say is my output should exceed my input. So for most people, they don't even know where their calories are. They either don't know how many calories they should be consuming in a day, and most people are overcompensating what they think they're burning for the day. So you really need to have that figured out for you. And if you need help with that, give me a call, message me. There is an actual calculator or formula that you use for knowing exactly how many calories you as a male or a female should be consuming according to your weight, height, and age. And then you factor in exactly what it is that you have a workout. Each kind of workout or intensity goes into a formula, and it's your multiplying factor. Can be a little confusing so it should be done by somebody, a professional. Don't just try to wing it. I was just happening to look at this happy birthday gum and stuff sitting in the back. Yum, can't have any. Not that it's not vegan, I just don't think I should have any. So anyways, your calories that you are consuming should obviously be less than what you're outputting. So a lot of people say, I got on the treadmill and I burned 500 calories. Well, probably not if you're just at a walk or if you've only done 20 minutes. So it really is important that you know exactly what your calories are. Now, with that, in the big scheme of things, a lot of these diets out there, and I don't want to name them in particular, but a lot of diets, like the ones that they are tracking points, you can really, in the big scheme of things, as long as your calories are less than, you're consuming less than what you're outputting, then yes, it doesn't matter. So if they're fitting into this point scale, so let's say you're allotted 2,000 calories in your diet, then it can be of whatever, as long as you're outputting 2,500 calories. Because then you have that 500 calorie deficit, and so then you're gonna you'll lose weight. Now if you're consuming 2,000 and you're burning 2,000, you're gonna stay the same. But if you're consuming 2,000 and you're only outputting 1,500, then you're gonna gain weight. If I'm going over this too fast, again, message me and I can explain it to you or in a slower, more detailed fashion. So let's just say you have these 2,000 calories. Those calories can be of whatever you want, really. Like that's how, like on these point systems, it's like, oh yeah, you could eat a piece of chocolate cake or you could eat a whole cake as long as it was only 2,000 calories. And that's where some of those diets irritated me, because it wasn't teaching you the proper way to eat. Now, granted, when I sit down with somebody and I do a nutrition counseling, I ask them, what are your favorite foods? What are your foods that, you have got to see in your diet, or you're just going to go crazy if you don't? Yes, so we fit those in. There's a new diet counseling out there on the market that is doing more of that type of style. They're like getting to know the person rather than just, check, check, check. Everybody's getting the same basic diet. So again, so you can take those, you could eat a whole chocolate cake if you wanted, if that's all you're going to eat for the day and it fit into your 2,000 calories. And that would irritate me. And then they're like, but if you eat more vegetables, you get more points or less points, however that worked. So they have revamped that system. I'm so happy, because I like a lot of people use that particular diet. So like I've said before, there should be a purpose. For whatever it is that you're putting in your body, it should have a purpose. So to me, whatever those 2,000 calories, not that it's just 2,000 calories, but what do those calories consist of? That's important, because that chocolate cake is not going to do anything for you nutritionally. It's not going to do anything probably for you mentally. No antioxidants, no, I mean, there might be some protein in there from the eggs and the milk and whatnot, but what is it really doing for you? And it's going to make you feel sluggish and you know, the sugar rush and the high and then the crash. Oh Lord, sorry, that's the dogs. Or the crazy people in the neighborhood with the loud dogs. So, but let's say if you take, for example, and you have for breakfast, you have your oatmeal, well, that's giving you fiber. And then you have for lunch, you have a salad loaded with veggies and maybe a piece of salmon on top. So you got your antioxidants, you got your, again, some more fiber, roughage from the vegetables, and then you have a good source of protein and omega-3 fatty acid from the fish. And then for dinner, again, maybe, let's just say you had some steamed broccoli and another small piece of like grilled chicken, or if you're the vegan, then you're having your tempeh, or some other kind of form of your tofu, whatever the case. Those foods, those types of foods are giving you they have nutritional value. They're giving you a purpose in the body. So no matter what you, however you want to do it, and then if you wanted to slide in a slice of cake, a small piece of cake, then that's fine. Nobody should ever feel deprived on a diet. I never, ever want anybody to feel like that. I think when I do a counseling session, it is very thorough, it is very deep. A lot of it is mental. You'd be surprised at why people reach for certain foods. It is a lot of it will stem from their childhood. Like, I remember my parents always ate steak when we were growing up. And so I was like, when I grew up, I was like, oh, steak, that's what it is. Steak is the thing you need to order because that's the best thing on the menu. So a lot of your things a lot of the reasons why we make food choices in our lives today could possibly stem from your childhood or maybe your teen years, whatever the case. If your parents deprived you of candy when you were young, then you probably grew up wanting candy. Oh my goodness, hush, you two. So that is a whole, it can be very deep when you get into those into your diets. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's like a madhouse in here. So again, but just make sure that, always think about it. Like, what is this food going to do for me? What is this chocolate cake going to do for me? Ask yourself those questions, like I've said before. If it doesn't serve a purpose, then you need to, rethink what it is you're eating. But also know that as long as you are counting those calories and you know exactly what your output is and you know exactly what your body needs for the day, then as long as it fits in that picture, then you should see that weight loss. If you're really trying to track, I always say 1 to 2 pounds a week is a healthy weight loss. But again, it just depends on where your deficit is and how many calories. I don't believe a female, in my opinion, should ever go below 1,200 calories, and a male should never go below 1,500. There's always that cap. Now, granted, that's for the general population. If you are in a special diet or if you have a special need, then that might not be for you. But that's just typically for the general population, and that's just without a workout, even thought, in the thought process. Again, because if you're working out, it's completely different numbers. We're not looking at the same. But for a female, that's about what it takes for us to go through the day, basically from just waking up and just going through a basic day. And I'm not saying if you're a construction worker, again, general population, so don't take those numbers for exactly you. It might not be just for you. But definitely look into knowing exactly what you should be consuming for your calories. And then if you are working out, you want to know exactly what that output is. A lot of people now wear an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, and it's reading your calories. But there's also ways you can go online and you can Google that. But if you would like an actual professional appointment, call me and we do a whole counseling session and where you'll learn about exactly what it is that you should be eating. Now, does it always work like that by the book and by paper? The numbers look great. like I said, on paper, but you do have to put in the work to make sure it actually fits. And then sometimes you have to give yourself a week or two, sometimes a month, to see how your body adjusts to those numbers, and to see if anything has to be tweaked, to see if we're okay, well, maybe we're not tracking your output exactly correctly. Let's revamp that, or let's revamp your diet. But it is very important. You got to know the basic numbers first. You don't know where you're going if you don't know where you're at. So please let me know if you need any help trying to figure that out. Hopefully you've learned something. I know just this past week, I've learned that I need to adjust my numbers, and that's okay. I'm okay with going along and being like, all right, so this isn't working. I really want to see a weight loss. I'm just kind of maintaining. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust my numbers this week. Hopefully you learned something new today. Oh, today is day 6. I think we're on day 6. Yay, I survived the weekend. No meat, no alcohol. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling healthy. I got up and ran 4 miles this morning with my dog. I'm feeling great. I feel like my skin feels great, more energy. Went through some good cleansing this weekend, if you know what I mean, without being too vulgar. But this has been a fun journey, and it hasn't even been a full week yet. So stay tuned, hit the like, hit the share, subscribe, hit the ding ding to stay tuned for more healthy tips, I guess. All right, love you, bye. Mwah.